No, Bernard and Perlita and the Robo Knight and Karen. See, let me break it down to you a little bit. Mr. Crackerman and Perlita and Bernard and Dave. Your ideals of what God may be or entails may not be the same to everyone else or to other life forms, Perlita. So when you try to force something down on people, right, then there's a problem. If people are born into something, a different reality, Perlita, and you get people remote control it and change it to manipulate it, and you behave out of character to what maybe we might have been or certain people might have used to have been, Perlita or Robo Knight and Bernard, it kind of means that you set in a stage of shit to control it. Okay? So you guys are pushing your ideal of what God may be, or a higher life form, and that might not be true, Bernard and Perlita, Indian woman in Episcopal church, or you guys wouldn't have trash cans and all this weird shit all over the fucking place. Starting to get my drift? Starting to understand? So from a time where there wasn't a lot of things to a bunch of that stuff. Certain behaviors that used to happen in the past that don't go on now. That's why what you do, Bernard, with the group of them is dangerous as fuck. So you kind of can assert that, but just remember, Bernard and Karen and so on and so forth, not everybody's ideal of what God is may be the same as what you guys profess it should be. And that's the problem you have, Carney Boy, Bernard, and Red Randy, and Eloise and Robo Knight. Because it's more about what you're seeing is what you people have done and may not be what everybody believes, Bernard and Perlita. So it means that Ellery and all them have put on this big old show and fucked up a lot of people's lives, and like I said, stripped out realities and, you know, things that people used to believe that we can't see anymore. So like I said, Bernard, you're kind of entering into a battle that really had nothing to do with any of you in the first place. Understand? So when you're telling everybody this story or the African Americans are helping you, or the carnies of the ghetto life or whatever, Perlita, you got to be careful asserting that you're God over the earth when you might not be the truth. Because when you people tell people that, that's what they believe. And that's the reality it created. So that's what I'm saying. Mine pretty much proves you jack stuff from me and my friends or family members. And I said that in that way for a specific reason a long time ago, to test something. So that's what I'm saying, Bernard. You want to try to get in between me and my grandfather or my father, and you guys don't know what all has happened, but you want to profess that you have some undivine truth for the world, and that may not be exactly true. Because my ideals, if I was born into something and you guys change that, my ideal of God, as you could already see, or a higher power, is much different than what you guys are professing the world should be, which means you controlled it, Bernard, after, or your team, after you guys got a hold of something. So when Dave plucks pieces and you guys try to control something you don't know to manipulate it into your own ideal of God, so, you know, or you're trying to create the devil with it, or a demon, then that kind of makes you dumb. Or nightmares, that makes you even more fucking dumb. So don't complain about the state of the condition, like I said, when you're already starting to do bit of the bees again, Ellery. So it means that, Bernard, the further that the group of you go down that road, you might not be able to return. And it's already a pile of shit. And that might be the reason why he don't help you guys down there anymore. I'm like, shh. That's what I'm saying. Because I was born, and they know I was born into something differently, and then I was killed. And then you guys try to bring me back and try to weasel your way back in there, and I tell them the truth, and you guys get pissed, and they know. So, Bernard, once you change that belief, Brian, Stan, Steve, Dave, Harry, as you guys profess this war was needed on the earth, or with other realms of reality that are not yours, or another domains, and cities taking and pillaging, Monty Pythoning or whatever, they kind of know. Because I told you, Harry and Joe, some kids already did too. There's already an I created. But it's not there no more. So, you can go with Ellery's little storytelling if you want, Bernard, but he's not with that many tries at going at it with Perlita and the All-American. So you can assert that you're God, Bernard, or the video game player, but man, you got like I said, the Freeman kind of type style going on the whole thing with Perlita, and it's just not working out with it too well. So, the group of you moved through and wanted to take over a city, and like I said, very racist filled white purity. You guys keep challenging it, and that might not be the ideal God that you want to keep choosing, Bernard, because it might, with the African Americans, it's a little bit over your head, and like I said, they're already starting to break, so they can't handle it, but they're trying to create it, and it wasn't created by the hand of a man. So in hell, you got handmans everywhere. So just remember that, Bernard, as you guys keep asserting your dominant throne. Not to everybody is God, the ideal of God, going to be the same on a planet like this. So, like I said, Bernard, some of us were born into something, and when you strip us out of that reality, or some people try to give you a gift, and you guys take advantage of it to wield it into your own comic book adventure or Tomb Raider-y adventure, be careful. You guys might have got what you wished for. And so, trust me, Bernard, I'm not African American. And it wasn't from the Negro. They didn't make it at all. At least by what I've been accustomed that they've shown me, it wasn't, because there was none when it first started out for me. So, your assertion and your whole story with Red Randy and all them, there was no Indians either, Bernard. It basically proves the group of you guys came ravaging through houses and shit. So, guess what? That's the type of style of life you live. And if you guys killed the wrong people and changed it all around, Bernard, you guys are kind of stuck. And I doubt they'll help you people after all of that. So, has nothing to do about being American, Bernard. You guys just might be screwed for screwing over the wrong families too many times, or just even one sliver of an inch at all. And so they let you guys run your little world, Bernard. But, that's what you get. So, there you go. That's what happens when you try to live people's lives for them, Bernard, and tell them what to do, and you don't know the philosophy behind it. You guys don't know the ideals, the traditional values, if there's a seasonal thing with it, any of that. You guys just come running down and think it's a party, and like I said, it might not be. Carny noise where there wasn't carny noise. People kind of pick up on that shit. So basically, like I said, Bernard, you and your little team just like to do that shit to get people killed, and it's fucking stupid. It's basically a sign that you guys ravaged through a house, took all this stuff, and then get the people killed so you guys can get away with your crime, Bernard. Has nothing to do about being American. They're just figuring out the group of you are cold-blooded murderers, And why keep helping a bunch of fucking idiots that are not going to want to learn anyway? You have a type of style of living that isn't conclusive into the world or area in which you know, trying to take over, Bernard. And that, well, for the group of you, I can guarantee you for the rest of your existence on the earth, that's a pretty shitty fucking life. Because, you know, that's not how, when it was working correctly, how anybody used to live, Bernard. So, like I said, when I was younger, my father used to spank for discipline, and that might have been all it needed. Not a punishment or anything against him, but it made for sure that, you know, if that was a handed down tradition from like Joe or those families, to make sure that it would never work again, because, you know, they knew at one point they were never violent at all towards children until something happened. And then guess what? Just like the yardstick across the hand, it's over forever. As soon as they do it, they may not want to, but they know it'll never work again.